Welcome to the New Creators Podcast. My name is Micah.
My name is Sean.
Hi, I'm Farah.
Hey, we're here.
Alrighty. And we have Farah on the podcast for the first time.
Woo!
And for those who don't know, Farah is quite possibly the most loyal TNC fan
Oh yeah.
that we have. Have you listened to every episode?
Yes.
Is that true? Every episode.
Every episode.
And that's
Amazing.
considering that we're now at this is episode 19.
Yes.
20. We're almost
That
at
is-
20.
Woo! Almost at 20. That's an impressive, because that's like gotta be over 15 hours of content at least.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Probably longer
At
than
very
that
least.
because the amount of rambles we've done. 'Cause there's a good chunk of
Yeah. Oh,
episodes for a
definitely.
while that we did for that were like over like an hour and a half. For a
Yeah.
while
Yeah.
there.
Definitely. Sorry about that, Farah.
It's okay. I have my notifications on, so I get alerts when there's a new episode.
Let's go.
Amazing.
Immediately go.
Let's go.
Maybe more people should be
Immediately.
like Farah. I'm just saying. I think more people should have notifications on for TNC. I'm not
I
biased
agree.
to this. No bias.
You like Farah. Turn on notifications for the New Creators Podcast.
Indeed.
Mhm.
This is a vague threat to everyone else. Turn notifications on.
Or
Indeed.
suffer the consequences.
Yeah, I'll sue you.
So true. Oh, we survived a few episodes without doing the Don't Sue TNC bit,
Oh yeah.
didn't we?
Oh
we haven't done that in like 3
we
or
broke
4
the
episodes.
tradition. We broke the tradition.
Oh no! But you brought it back.
I brought it back.
You said you're gonna sue it. You're
Yeah.
gonna sue people.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. I've
So-
turned how the
so
turns
people
tables.
can't sue. Yeah, how the turntables.
Yeah.
Man, it's a good
Yeah.
day today.
Oh yeah.
It's a good day.
I'm feeling great.
Farrah's
I'm feeling
absolutely
great.
right. This is gonna be a good episode.
I'm so ready.
Yeah, I am too. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up some stats. Hopefully,
Let's
Oh
go.
yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
firstly, we know there's
I
gonna be at
always
least
should
one.
pull this up.
We know there's gonna be at least one play on the newest episode, and that will be Farah.
Yep.
That is true.
100%
Farah.
confirmed.
Because she has notifications turned on.
It's true. Turn on notifications. Yeah. So let's see here.
Let's go. Let's go.
We have a solid 15 streams
Ooh.
of the last episode.
Nice.
Nice.
Which in a week is not bad at all. Let's see. What the heck have they done?
What?
They've I'm so confused. They've redesigned the Spotify podcast panel.
Oh,
They
And
have?
I'm very confused. Yeah, they redesigned like the pan, so I can no longer see like the most I can't see like the most like sort by. Oh, I can sort by listens.
I was about
Let
to
me
sue.
check,
I was
let me
about to
see
sue Spotify there. We were getting very close to a lawsuit right there.
Okay, all time. It's just different. It's just very different UI. Okay. So let's see here. Okay, so yeah, not much has changed there. So nothing very interesting. It looks like the first episode is still the most listened episode, which is again quite sad because it's not a
That
good
episode will
episode.
haunt me for the rest of my days.
it will.
I'll be like,
Um,
70 years old, and I'll be thinking about that. Like, oh my god, I can't believe we did that first episode.
However, we have passed a milestone of 500 streams across all episodes.
Wow. That's awesome.
Most of them being Farah.
Yeah.
Bear's just listening 24/7, just over and over and over. And
All
over and
15 of
over.
the streams on that Fred's episode was just Farah.
Yep.
Absolutely. But yeah. So not a ton going on there, but yeah, thanks for listening as always. Yeah, we're kind of gonna go over some random stuff that we're all doing.
Indeed.
Sean, why don't you start us off? What have you been working on?
Ooh, well, the problem is, right? I've said this before on the podcast. I'm kind of a person who keeps my projects secret until I release them. That's kind of my thing. But
This is true.
I'll talk about some things I'm just working on that I'll probably never release. So I'm working on some UI design stuff. I made this news app design, and it's kind of like
Nice.
I don't know how to really describe it, but it's pretty mid, I think. But I mean, I'm just a very bad. I'm my own worst critic, so who knows? But I'm working on that. I don't know if you saw it, Micah, but in my server, oh, there we go. We're also doing the art edition. I'm mentioning my server, which
Mentioning your server.
which everyone should join. By the way, I'm
I
just
agree.
saying.
We have
Thank
a lot
you.
of fun in there.
Indeed,
do.
especially Farah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to mention what her catchphrase is because it's not appropriate for the TNC
Yeah.
podcast, but
It's
you know,
not.
it is not. But yeah, in my server, I posted this old like meme song I made. I don't know if you've heard it, but basically, it's the dumbest thing. I think I made it just before COVID, or maybe just at the start of COVID, right? So I think this is during like the Bitcoin craze, and I was like, okay, I like the song "Past Life" by Tame Impala. And I find the BitConnect guy, you know, the one that's like BitConnect, he's funny.
Yeah.
That's goofy. So, me being a genius, I open up Audacity and I'm like, what if I just put the two of them together?
Is this in the music channel?
Yeah, it should be there. I posted it on Oriali, the Oriali account, so you can search for it that way.
Oh wait, okay, hold up. I'm gonna find it and play this over
On
the
top.
podcast. It's called Past Meme.
Past meme. I thought that was something. Yeah, it
Okay.
was an old meme even by that time, but
Okay, let's see here.
Mike,
Here, if I share my screen, can y'all hear what's
We'll s-
on the screen?
hopefully we'll find out. We're about to do
Fingers
technical
crossed.
Okay.
Fingers crossed. Oh.
Sound may not be able to be able. Okay, wait, hold up. If I stream a window, it should be able to.
Hopefully.
Let's see here. Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, the thumbnail came up too. What the heck?
Oh yeah, have you seen
Okay.
the photo I made for it was very funny. The cover art.
It's excellent. Okay.
I am truly an artist, I tell you.
Let's see here.
All right, hold on. Let me
Okay.
jump on the stream.
Let me see.
Come
if
on,
it's-
here.
if
Yeah,
it's
I see it.
audible.
I see it. Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, I can hear it. I can hear it. Let's go.
It's very loud.
Yeah, it's Tame Impala, my man.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. It's not even started yet. This is literally just the start.
Hey, everybody, my name is Carlos.
It gets better once it hits the actual lyrics. I assume you guys know what the original song sounds like. I hope anyway.
I do not.
Oh
I
god,
do.
you're okay. You're in for a treat or a horrifying abomination. It depends on your preference. But oh man, this is gonna be great. Here we go. Here we go. The amount of reverb I put on this was insane.
I'm dying right now. What is this?
Art.
It's good. It's actually good in some
Yeah.
weird way.
I don't know how I
Okay,
did
I'm
this.
not gonna listen to all of this because we've got some difficulty on the podcast. But that's a piece of work right there. That's hilarious.
It's something. It is definitely something. And then
It's a piece of art.
after the podcast, I'll show you the Audacity file. It is ridiculous. I don't know how I did it on Audacity, but I did do it in Audacity. To my computer, and
Yeah,
this was on
that's
my
legendary.
and it was on my old PC, so it was like you know, all like 8 years old, right? The processor. So like this thing was literally like
Here.
the fan was going. It was like turning into a jet engine. It was ridiculous. But
Insane.
but yeah, that's what I've been working on. So who wants to follow up on that? He wants to follow that.
I'll follow up on that
Alright.
and be nice and boring. I've been working on the CAF app as usual.
Yeah.
For preparing for this semester, which I'm hoping to have significantly more users than I had last semester. Which is I had about 1.1 thousand unique users last semester. I'm going for like a larger, but that was not daily. That was like over the entire semester. Those were the number of unique people. who
That's
used it.
still kind of impressive.
is pretty
I'd
solid.
say.
It was-
I've never got
it's definitely the
1,000
most
hits on
used.
anything I've made.
It's definitely the most used thing I've made. So the goal is getting a little more daily usage out of that and stuff like that. So I've been doing some like marketing with that. I have an Instagram account for it, and I've talked a little bit before on TNC about how I'm kind of self-marketing that and how Instagram just following random students on Instagram is like the best way to advertise something at a college.
Oh yeah, I forgot to
I
mention.
stand by that.
I guess we'll talk about it a bit more in a sec. But I've got an actual.
You've got an
I've got a
Instagram.
public Instagram account now. I've only had a private one for like since 2016, but now I've got a public
Amazing.
one, which is great.
And I follow it.
Oh yeah,
Indeed, so do I. So do I.
indeed.
The other very small thing I've been working on is stickers for two different things. I've been working on some concept ideas for possible TNC merch that includes possible shirts, possible stickers,
Finally!
possible coffee mugs, maybe.
I have been waiting
don't
for
know.
this.
We will. Farrah's been waiting for it.
Farrah-
Farrah suggested.
Yeah.
You suggested a shirt, right? And stickers, didn't you?
What's up?
Didn't you suggest like? Weren't you the one who suggested like a shirt in the first place, like TNC shirts?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought
Like
so.
we need like
yeah, so
shirts, socks, stickers. We need
socks.
all.
That's an idea.
Socks.
TNC socks.
TNC
Me when I can
socks.
do my TNC recording in my TNC socks.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a good idea. See, the problem is I need to find somewhere that'll like print all this for us at I don't care if we make profit or anything like that because we have nothing to use money on. But like
Yeah.
like it'd be nice to have somewhere where we would not be at a loss with
Yeah.
our own merch. But yeah,
I'll walk
find,
around with a
looking around.
TNC sticker on my forehead at all times. I think that's a good walking. I'll be a walking billboard.
That's a good idea.
Amazing.
You know, you're
Free
following. You're
advertising.
following because you're following random people on Instagram or random students on Instagram to advertise a CAF app. I'll walk around with a TNC sticker and they'll go, "What's that on your forehead?" And I'm like, "TNC podcast. You should listen to it and follow it."
Hey, what works works.
Yeah.
Indeed. I think I'm a marketing genius right here. I think I just made. Just saying.
Indeed. But the other sticker related thing I've been doing is there was I don't know if y'all are familiar with Sticker Mule. They're a company that
Mhm.
prints stickers and does a lot of promos and like they do like Dribble competitions and stuff like that. If you're familiar with the Dribble social media platform.
Yeah, it's
Um,
not actually
and-
dribbling like it's not like you need to get like a tissue or something and clean up or something. Don't need a mop or something.
Yes, you just need a Dribble account. But so they had a competition where submit a sticker design and no matter if you win or lose, you'll get like 10 or 15 free glitter stickers. So
There's glitter
I designed
stickers?
something. Glitter
They
stickers.
have
for
glitter?
They do.
Man, I need to invest in some
Sparkly.
of that.
I love how he's
Hey,
like,
they're dude. I can highly recommend. So I've gotten a lot of Sticker Mule stuff for free and for and by paying for it. They're like one of my favorite printing companies. Like their stuff is like high quality. It's
Yeah.
nice.
he didn't break into the Sticker Mule like warehouse and steal them. And if he did, please
I
only
did
sue
not.
Micah and not the podcast. See,
Yeah.
I brought it back. There
You
you
did bring
go.
it back. I kind of felt like that was where you were going when you started that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Should've
too
expected that, but-
predictable, but oh well.
Possibly. But yeah, so I made just like this was like the playoff ended. I haven't been on Dribble in a while, and the playoff ended. The competition ended at like midnight last night, and I found out about it at like 9 p.m. last night. I was like, crap. I would like some glitter stickers, but I don't have anything to print. So I just like threw together like this like really like hasty like not very good like a dribble shot and just rebounded it just for the sake of having the coupon to use later. So it's just like it's a random sticker, but my plan is eventually to print out like promo stickers that I can give out for the CAF app on campus. So but it's just like a really janky looking sticker that does not even look slightly good, and I'm just gonna delete it once the playoffs over. So
Fair enough.
game the system.
I
when you
I
can.
now have to look at this now before you delete it. I need to see what you
I sent it
made.
in the Discord.
Oh, did
channel.
you?
It's not like objectively bad.
Oh yeah, I mean
It's-
it's
but like
kinda
it looks
cool.
it's
yeah. It's I imagine I make this like in 2019. I imagine 2019 me would have made this.
yeah. That's I'm not at all proud of it. But again, it was like 9:45, and I was like, I am tired and don't want to actually put work into this. And
I'm gonna
publish this.
give it a like anyway. You're
I appreciate
welcome.
it. Much appreciated. Oh, so yeah, that's kind of what I've been working on.
Nice.
Sarah, what about you?
Oh wow,
Open up
my
the-
turn. I'm not
It
that
is.
cool. I don't do any like cool designy esque stuff like everybody else. But as of recently, I've been getting back into like my writing because I write stuff just every now and then, like stories, etc., etc. I've picked up painting like my garage, doing a cool little mural. So
Ooh.
far, my mom
In
hasn't
your
seen it.
garage. That's cool.
Yeah, so far my mom hasn't seen it, so she can't kick my butt yet.
That's one way to go about it.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I did not ask for permission whatsoever.
Once again,
Wonderful.
do not sue the podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
We are
Do not sue
Do
Farrah,
not vandalize.
Or there's two options here: do not sue the podcast, or do not sue Farrah and sue the podcast instead.
Or
You're making
don't
it-
sue anyone.
You're hurting my brain now.
Sean's mind can only comprehend one thing.
I can
that's
only take
not suing
I
the
can only take one
podcast.
thing at a time here. I can't process two things at once. I'm not that advanced. My AI hasn't been updated yet to that firmware.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, I've been doing that. I recently got Blender, so I'm trying to figure that out.
Ooh. I've
I've
wanted to try and
been
figure that out,
trying.
but I'm so bad at it. I can't figure it out.
I can't do
Uh.
anything. I don't know what it is.
You do Blender though, Micah, I think. Or
I
used to.
I've
I can't remember.
I would love. I am a man with too many hobbies, and it is a problem because I cannot be a designer, a developer, a musician, a digital music creator, a composer, a 3D modeler. I cannot do all of that.
Or can
so
you?
I kind of tried to, but yeah, if you're on my Dribble profile, there's a few there's a decent
Your
amount
waste of
3D
profile, you made like
weird
that
stuff.
that Blender like
I
waste of
did.
logo. That was
That
sick.
was one of the favorite things I've made on Blender has been that 3D waste of money logo.
Yeah.
Was quite fun to make, but
Mhm.
yeah, I don't blame you, Farrah. It is a beast of a software,
Yep.
and I cannot even comprehend like a third of what that thing does.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
lot.
I tried for like a good couple hours. I did nothing. I couldn't change the color of anything. It was just there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a mess.
I'm in the same boat,
Yeah, it's-
so
It's a tough software.
Yeah. At least I didn't
Yeah,
have to
best of
buy
luck
it.
with that.
At least I didn't have to like put my money into
nice.
something I don't know how to use.
True.
Open source software.
Woo!
We love it
Yeah.
gotta love some open source software.
for real.
Well, there's Blender. So I used to do a lot of like music stuff way back when, not that way back actually, like a month ago.
Way,
Way
back,
back
when,
when.
as in a month
A
ago.
month ago. It's like anything like music related. Let's see, there's violin, guitar. I wanted to try piano, but those are expensive.
They are.
Indeed.
But just like and recording that sort of stuff. So I'm picking that back up, which is cool. And I've
That's
started building stuff
Hey.
like hammer and nail with a drill kind of building.
I find that very scary, you, with any sort of utility like a hammer. I'm worried what
Yep.
you would do with that.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, I'm scared.
I'm scared myself.
Yeah, I'm just
All
building some
right.
like some shelves.
That's nice.
Nice.
You've got a fair amount going on.
I know,
That's a
you're
lot
saying
of-
like you do nothing, and like you immediately just went off to go and basically list off like every hobby known to man.
like full out like Renaissance man over here, like writing arts, 3D modeling, music, construction, like carpentry. Like where are you? How on earth?
Yeah.
Well, it's better. It's been worse. I used to have more on my plate. Like I was studying like
Understandable.
neuroscience and like brain, like
come on,
neurosurgery and stuff.
Oh, you know, I was just doing
Farrah
quantum
the
computers the other
neuroscientist.
day. You know, I just thought I'd give it a shot. Made some string theory as well. Nah, why not?
Yeah, pretty
Oh my
much.
gosh, Sarah.
Wow.
I get
Hey,
bored
well,
easily.
That's good on you for
Yeah.
good on you for trying new things and not getting completely just
complacent.
dead after
Yep.
all of that, because that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're underselling yourself there 100%.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah.
But yeah, that very very nice. That's a lot of stuff. That's very very well-rounded resume there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna move on into some various things we've seen in the news slash creator space. Um, some of this we'll discuss longer than other things, I'm sure. But we can start with the Nothing Phone 2, which is
Yeah.
a cell phone that released, but it's different for many reasons.
Many reasons.
Many reasons.
Many reasons. As you can tell, I am very detailed and
Oh yeah.
helpful.
So
Definitely.
nuanced. I mean,
Indeed.
when do you need Chat GPT?
No.
When you have Micah.
Yep.
I did actually watch watch the launch of this phone, and I thought it was pretty interesting.
Mhm.
I think it's interesting, and I think the thing that makes it the most interesting is it's a phone from a completely different new brand that's launching in the US, which is like a really
Mhm.
really big deal,
for
because the first one
once,
didn't, and it's been
Because
years
the
since
Nothing
it's done
Phone
that.
1 released in the UK only.
It did.
I finally have a tech company that isn't in America. I
It's
thought
true.
I was a bit of a.
It's a solid tech company too.
Yeah,
It's a good tech company.
it's a very good tech company. I just thought I
yeah.
need to take the win where I can, because virtually UK never has any tech companies. They're mostly
True.
American, so I thought I'd take the W
But-
where I can.
I will say, so like previously, Google Pixel's been like my favorite Android skin, like, or not. It's not really a skin. It's kind of a skin, I guess. The Pixel experience has been like my favorite interface for Android. If I was to replace that with anything, I think Nothing OS 2 looks phenomenal. Like, I don't know how many like screenshots you've seen of the phone,
Well,
like when it's running, and it's good. It's so cool.
as
Slick.
any expert would, I watched NKBHD video, so I'm now an expert in this phone, of course, and I have seen the UI, and it's very nice. I quite like the dot matrix kind of look it has in a lot of it parts. It's very tasteful. I like it. I like how it's like it's able to keep the kind of base of Android's like UI, but also kind of just add enough touches that you can tell it's like nothing. It still has Nothing's kind of vibe while still not feeling too alien to Android. Where like some skins, they look like they virtually don't look like Android at all. You know, like One UI, like I use One UI on my phone, right? And it's like completely different to like a Google Pixel. It's like ridiculously different.
I hate One UI so much. I may just be biased, but I have never enjoyed.
I don't mind it, but
One
what's
UI.
annoying is like all the extra apps that I don't want. It's like Samsung. I don't want your Google, like, you know, like how on like other phones you get Google Now, which you can swipe to on the home screen. You can't
What the
do
heck
that
is
on my
Google
phone.
Now?
It's the
Wait, what now?
What's Google Now?
Wait, do you have an Android or an iPhone? Phil?
I have an iPhone.
Okay, so on Android phones, actually, you can see this. Wait, where's my camera?
over
it is.
there, yeah.
On Android phones, on the home screen, you can swipe to the left. Wrong direction. You can swipe to the left, and you have like a little like Google News feed of like suggested stories and stuff, and that's like on your home screen. I did not mean to do that.
Wait, that's so cool.
So, yeah.
I want that.
Yeah,
Get an
it's
Android
a nice
phone.
feature, but no. But it's not just on all Androids. So Sean, finish your thought. What were you saying?
So on Samsung's, they have a similar feature, right? Now, I should preface this. I have a Note 9, so it doesn't have the latest version of Android or One UI. It has been changed now. You can have Google Now on more modern Samsung phones, but my current phone, I can only use what I think it's Samsung Free, and it's like free, just FREE. And it's basically a terrible version of Google Now. It is so bad.
Is it like the Microsoft widgets panel like we mentioned the other day?
It's MSN, but if it was made by Samsung, I'll turn it on just for 1 second, right? And I'll show you, right? So here it is.
That sounds
right, and then
okay.
right, and what's even worse?
Oh, it
is
has to load.
It has to load.
What?
All right, and every single time I have to do this, I have to go to like accept the stupid cookie thing because it's like oh, I
What?
want to take all your data. It's like, okay, no thanks. And yeah, it's just bad.
That
Right, and
does
I
not look
can't
great.
swipe. You can swipe back, but it's janky because look, every single time
Oh,
it's ugly
that
as hell.
that bothers
So
me.
it bothers me. That's why I turned it off. No joke. I just went like immediately. I just went like open, and that's off. Goodbye. Very annoying. And that's the other thing as well. They've changed it now, but you couldn't switch to Google Assistant either. You had to use Bixby. But I figured
Bixby.
out a way. There's an app on the App Store that lets you bypass that. So now I can open the Google Assistant with the Bixby button. So take that, Samsung. Again,
Very
I'll
nice.
preface it. It's been changed now. You can do that on modern Samsungs, but it's still annoying that it wasn't a thing in the first place. But yeah.
And for contrast, wow.
Context.
Contrast.
Oh,
Contrast.
okay.
We went through like
Wha-
three
wha-
different
again-
words there.
In my hold up, let me see here, because my let's see here, my NVIDIA broadcast is blurring out my background. Let me see if I can not make it do that for a second.
No, we don't need to.
At all?
It adds to the pizzazz here. It feels a bit like mod chat, where it's just like the rough edges kind of add to the vibe.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna turn it off. There we go. Okay. Hey, look at that. Okay. So for
I
context,
see no difference.
so when you're scrolling this way, you have like it's like right there, and like all the stories
Yeah,
are already
it's
like
so
loaded in
smooth.
on. Like it's like
It's
right
smooth.
here, and you're scrolling
Yeah.
back, it like disappears. It's
Man.
very smooth in contrast to
know.
the Samsung one. It's the
Well,
janky.
yeah,
box.
exactly. It's so janky. It's so bad. And not just that, it's like MSN. Or like when it's just tabloid rubbish that I don't care about, and you cannot customize it. No matter how many times I tell it, no, I don't like this story. No, give me stuff from these sources that don't just give tabloid nonsense. It will refuse and still just give me like random guff about like something I don't care about. It's like, okay, then I'm going to turn that off now. And it has like horrible games as well, right? It has like it's trying to copy Microsoft, so it has like solitaire and stuff on it, but it's like
Ooh.
it's like imagine Minesweeper, but horrible, like just
Mine's-
actual
Oh gosh.
Legobage. It's horrible.
Oh gosh. Okay. That sounds like a mess.
Yeah, that's why I turned it off. So
Long story
But-
short, Nothing Phone is cool, and it's a good.
it is.
It looks like a good
Yes.
smartphone. And
I-
I've
the back-
never heard of it, but like looking at it,
It's
it looks
sick.
really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the back.
It's-
the back looks
obviously-
so good.
transparent. I'm so glad that transparent tech is making a comeback.
Yeah,
Because
oh
it's
yeah.
like it's
That
so
was
cool.
my
I love
that was my childhood, man. The amount of tech I had that was transparent. So I was so upset when that didn't just like
Yeah.
died, because I feel like phones for a while just got boring. Like they're all glass
Yeah.
backs and stuff, and it's like, can we get something?
Very repetitive.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, Nothing Phone, very cool,
Indeed.
and it's British,
Well,
mate. I thought
It's,
I'd just
it's
say that again.
British.
It's British.
I guess. Do you think? Okay, out of curiosity, since you're Scottish, do you think that makes you have the ability to do a better British accent than, like, say, Americans could?
There is a comedian called Kevin Bridges. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's a Scottish comedian from
I've not.
Glasgow. Okay, so he's a Scottish comedian from Glasgow, and he does an insanely good posh Scottish accent. It is like, it sounds better than English people. It is scary because like
Okay.
he had. Like, I don't know if you've heard the Glaswegian accent, but it's probably the one you imagine when you think of the stereotypical Scottish accent. Very
Yeah,
strong
yeah.
and right. So he has that kind of accent, but then he just switches into this really posh like English accent. He sounds like he comes from like the royal family or something. It just sounds ridiculous.
That's hilarious.
It's really funny. But I don't really have the best English accent. I can try, but I don't really get. I turn more into a geezer kind of vibe. It's like
I used to do. I don't know if you're familiar with Michael Caine, the actor Michael Caine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's in a lot of stuff. I used to have like a pristine Michael Caine accent, and I like just like lost it one day, and I can't do it anymore. But I used to have like a phenomenal Michael Caine accent.
like I can be British, mate, but it's not very good. I sound like a bit of a geezer. It's a it's a bit of a geezer vibe, but it's not. I can't do like a very posh English accent.
Yeah.
I think the Scottish is too strong with me. The Force is strong with this one.
The force is strong.
Oh, what about you, Farah? Can you do an English accent?
Nope.
Fair enough. I like. The
I used to be
directness.
really, really good. but not anymore.
Rip. Oh well. I'm not even going to ask if anyone could do a Scottish accent because I think it'll be a bit of a train wreck. I was waiting on Micah attempting just for the fun of it. I was waiting on just breaking the silence there and just doing a horrible Scottish accent.
I see. I can't. I had to have a sentence to say.
Well, what do you want to say? Like do you need
See,
to say
if
Scottish
my problem is
words?
if I say something, then it always turns out to be. It always eventually turns out to be Australian.
Like, because like
British, the line between British and Australian is so small
yeah,
that
good day, mate. You know, it's yeah.
I can't.
It's,
I don't know.
it's the same in my mind. It's the exact same.
Well,
So,
I'm
I
glad,
can-
let's be lucky. No one.
Hello,
English
mate.
here- here's
Hello,
here
mate.
right now.
Welcome to the New Creators Podcast. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so
Wait,
bad.
so if I gave you some Scottish, like a Scottish phrase,
Oh,
would you
dear.
attempt it? Right. So
I would attempt it, but I don't know. I don't know if I could.
right. So I'm just gonna say it, and then I'll let you try it, and then I'll tell you what it means. So
Okay.
it's,
Okay.
so it's Okai the new.
Okay, the new.
It does sound
I don't-
Australian.
I don't see. I told you. Everything sounds Australian.
So what do you think that meant anyway? I was curious to see what you thought. I think I made.
Oh, I don't even know what the words I said were.
It was Ok I the new. So that means oh yes the now. So Ok I. So
You
oh
can't
yes.
give me a real
the
sentence.
now.
Oh yes, the now is the best you could come up with.
That's
That's-
it's a typical phrase in Scotland.
What is that?
When would you
wait,
use
what does that
it?
mean?
Like Ok I
Yeah.
the new. Like yeah, like the now. Like Ok I. I must be
I'm so confused.
Me too.
exactly. You
What-
don't understand.
What do you mean the now? What is the now?
Like the now. Like oh yeah, I'm going to do this the now. Like oh yeah, I'll
Like-
do that now.
Oh, see,
Oh, okay.
interesting. Okay.
That's still really
in like
confusing, but
American
I'm starting
English,
to
we
get
don't
it.
have like the now. Like you would just say
So
like
the
I'm
now
gonna do that
means
now
like
or
this,
like
I'll
right
do
now.
that now. I'll do that now. Yeah.
Interesting.
And then you can also just say okai, which just means oh yes. And obviously instead of saying yes, a lot of us say I instead, which is AYE, not
Mhm,
I. As
sure.
in the I.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I don't know. That's all right.
I've also got plenty
That's
of Scottish insults, but I won't say those. They're not very nice. I'll say them later.
Yeah, we have to stay nice on here.
Yeah, I have to
Let's
stay
be like
clean here.
PG.
PG. I have to be PG here, so.
Let's see here. We've got r/place is back at possibly the worst time.
Worst timing ever. For anything.
No
ever.
matter how bad it is, no matter how bad it is, I still want to do it. I still want to like.
I know this. My server was planning on doing the Oriali logo. And
Yes, but we had to. It's been so claimed now. Like the
Mm.
board is. I was just looking at it. The board has been so claimed now that I don't know
do we
if we'd be able
have?
to find it.
I
Now
know.
in like the top right of like Germany's flag.
I assume it. Does it still have
could fit it in
the
there.
Does it have? I know when I first looked at it a couple days ago, they obviously had the very famous thing that's becoming on Reddit now, which is Frick
F-
Spez.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
replace Frick with a different word.
Indeed.
I hate to say it, but I have no idea what that means.
So
Okay.
I'll explain. I'll happily explain. So Spez is the Reddit username of the Reddit CEO, Steve Huffman. That's why. I don't know why it's Spez. I don't know what it means, but yeah.
Why is everyone so angry at them though?
Ooh.
It's because so
Drama?
Farrah, you've listened to the podcast. I think we've talked a few times about the Reddit API issues, like about
Yeah,
how they're
probably forgot.
restricting that. Yeah, so the so they're kind of they're making their API like heavily paywalled, and it shut down like a bunch of like people who like their livelihood was making like these apps for Reddit.
Oh
And-
no.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
that's been like a whole
Yeah.
that's been like a whole mess.
And there's been a few other things the last time since we talked about it, because Reddit's also deleted chat history. Like I
That's
think
true.
they just deleted it without telling anyone and like with no warning. So people have now lost their chat history with people as well, which isn't very nice. And I think there was another thing people are upset with Steve about. I think it was generally just his demeanor. He's been quite
Yeah, I don't even know.
mean. I think he's been very like PR. He is terrible at PR. This guy, he is so
Indeed.
bad at it. But yeah, it's not been very good for Reddit for a while now. Like, there's still some subreddits protesting it by like posting John Oliver exclusively still. But yeah. So I'm not. I feel like a lot of people have said this, and I think the same. I feel like the only reason Place is coming back now is trying to push, like, it's trying to bury all that stuff that's been going
Yeah.
on, try and move past it. But I don't know if Reddit's gonna let that happen.
Yeah, I don't know, it's a mess, but we'll see. That's always, I feel like it's always the most interesting when they release like the time lapse of like like all the pixels of the board and like seeing like what places like underwent like
Yeah.
the most.
I remember
changes.
the I think it was the one from like last year. I don't know, but the last one.
Uh-huh.
I remember seeing that. It was so cool. I
It
loved
was
it.
It
quite cool.
is.
Yeah,
It was insane, that
it's
one.
quite cool.
And I have an achievement on that because I actually survived. I have a pixel on that final picture on the
Really?
Yeah, so there's a, you know how I'm quite a big fan of Beach House, the Dream Pop group, right? So
Yes.
the subreddit had a little square with r/Beach House. So I put a pixel there, just randomly
That's
because someone
cool.
was attacking it. I was just bored, right? Okay, I'll put that there, and miraculously, no one took it from me for like a good solid day. So I
Wow.
survived.
Should I
and
place a
I have it.
pixel? I'll tell you what. How often can you place a pixel?
I think I don't know. I've not done it this year. I think it's every 5 minutes. Is it not?
Oh, that's true. Then you know what? I'll place a pixel. Let's
Me
place a
too.
pixel.
Let's
that's
see
the
if we can
exact same
survive.
color of the TNC logo.
Yeah.
Okay, but where?
Anywhere.
I
I'd say.
I don't know.
put
Anywhere.
it anywhere.
Yeah.
I'll have a look because I can look at my account. 'Cause I think I'm logged in, so I can have a quick look. I should have the achievement on my. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that achievement because it's literally the most boring achievement ever. Yeah. So I've got place 22, end game 22, and I've also got the final canvas 22. So I'm actually one of the few people who's actually got a pixel on the final picture. So I'm famous. What can I say?
You know what? I'm gonna put just a pixel on. I'm gonna put a pixel on the blue corner.
Don't tell people; they're gonna now just take it from you. You should have kept it a secret.
Well, I mean, no one's gonna leave it there. I mean, it's pretty.
There's just random like colored pixels on like the German flag.
Which
Yeah.
one on the the bottom left?
Yes.
Wait.
I'm-
Wait. Whoever is building the Windows taskbar at the bottom of r/place.
They do that every year. They did it
I
last year
absolutely
too.
love that. It's glorious.
Amazing.
You know what? I'm just gonna go and place a pixel on the Windows logo. Someone put Among Us in the Windows logo.
Of course, Among Us have to.
Legendary,
Amazing.
Classic.
indeed.
A-
Okay.
Absolute banger right there. Among Us type beat playing just in my head now.
Oh, I think somebody
God.
put like Perry the Platypus.
Indeed,
Oh my god,
they did.
that was such a good show. Phineas and
I
Legendary.
Ferb.
still
Dude,
watch it
I-
to this
I've-
day.
Oh, I will absolutely watch it. To this day. It's a good
100%.
show.
Such a good show.
Indeed. That's a
favorite.
lot of time we spent on just r/place, but yes, that's a whole thing, and that's gonna be interesting to see how that turns out.
It will be.
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting.
Very fun stuff.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Absolutely. We have, and this is not super closely related to creativity or technology or anything like that, but well, actually
It kind of is.
both
I see
those.
it
Kind of.
But yeah, the actors and writers of Hollywood are striking.
Yeah.
And I'm devastated. Deadpool is like no more. I
I'm
almost
sure-
cried.
I'm sure it'll be. I'm still. Again,
Mhm.
Marvel has plenty of money. I'm sure they're gonna make it happen. But
Yeah.
as of now, just about every major Hollywood production is on delay due to actors and writers striking over the usage of artificial intelligence in the film industry, over the usage of just like completely unfair wages, especially for the writers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole mess down there. But
Mhm.
kind of all is boiling down to like the payment of creators and especially the writers. Like, how much should writers get paid in order
Yeah.
to
I've-
write these shows and movies?
Yeah. My thoughts on it was kind of obviously I don't know fully about it because obviously this is happening in America mostly. It's not really happened here in the UK. But obviously it affects us still because obviously we get a lot of entertainment imported from America. But I found it quite shocking more about how writers in that don't get paid when stuff gets re-aired on television or used
Yeah.
elsewhere or
Bizarre.
re-released. That was bizarre to me because I'm like, they helped create that thing. What they should, it's like musicians, right? If someone uses a song in like a commercial product or some other piece of entertainment or whatever, you have to pay royalties to the creator
Sure.
of that,
Yeah.
including the producers, mixing engineers, everyone that was involved in that, right? That's what most of us would say is fair because they all helped create that piece of music. And it's the same thing with a TV show. I felt was like, yeah, you have the actors, but obviously that they're not just actors. There's also the writers. There's the cameramen. There's all the other, maybe the sound engineers, editors, so on. You know, like.
And I think to some extent, like for like sound engineers and for like cameramen and the guy who's holding the boom mic, like obviously you can't pay every one of them royalties because
Oh,
this-
no,
like,
of course
the
not.
people who's
I
wearing,
was
but like
more
the people
saying
who are
kind of-
directly involved with the creation of the work.
well,
like
especially
the writers
writers.
and actors are putting, in my opinion, writers should be paid at least as much as actors, if not more.
I'd
Because
say
they're
I would
they're
even
producing the
argue
stories.
more because I was
I
thinking
think
about
Yeah.
that. Because think about like shows, for example, because they're talking about shows such as because during the last writer's strike, Breaking Bad just started. So this is an interesting thing I found out. So in the last writer's strike, Breaking Bad was in its first series, and they had to cut it short because the writers weren't there. And funnily enough, if they didn't have the writer's strike, Jesse Pinkman would have been killed off. They were planning to kill him off as like the finale to the
Interesting.
first series. So a lot of ways, the creator Vince Gilligan actually said it was a good thing in the end for him because it actually made the show more popular because everyone liked Jesse and stuff like that. But I thought what was more interesting was like in a lot of ways I can't imagine the show not being like the first series being not short because I feel like it works perfectly fine as it is, and that's thanks to the writers probably coming back after the strike and actually rewriting the show to make it work. So again, that's like it kind of proves the worth that writers kind of give. to
Writers are definitely
productions.
underappreciated. Like the way the way society just like idolizes these actors and stuff. Like, yeah, it's really impressive what actors can do, and I don't want to undervalue that because, like it's really impressive like the way
Yeah.
they can make us like feel emotion. But actors are absolutely nothing without the writing behind what they do.
Yeah, I think it's the main problem is a lot of people obviously recognize the talent of actors because you see it, whereas writers, that's invisible. The best writing is when you don't see it or don't recognize the writing, you just see it as, good writing.
Yeah.
You can't, you know the difference because when it's bad writing, you can tell it's bad, but when it's good writing, you don't even notice it. It's so, cohesive. And I find it really silly how like a lot of companies want to use AI. Like you're gonna let ChatGPT write your scripts. Like ChatGPT
Insane.
basically writes like a Wikipedia article. It's not exactly nuanced or interesting all too much, really. It's pretty surface level.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's a whole thing. I'm interested to see how that all plays out because, like, there's been some of the studios have come out and say, okay, yeah, we're open to negotiation and stuff. But by and large, the reception has been like,
Yeah, I
largely
think it
negative
was.
from
I
these
think it
large
was like
studios.
Warner was like basically saying they want to make them lose their like apartments and stuff. Instead,
Yeah.
it's like that's insane. You want people just to suffer. That's like horrible,
Yeah. That's
It's-
Hollywood is a dump
Yeah.
heap. Like
It is so
Mm.
corrupt, man. It's so bad.
it's bad. It's awful. It's
Yeah.
It's like how we get some of our most iconic stories, and it's just like an absolute just like trash pit of
Yeah.
people. It's
Well,
a mess.
Look at shows like not shows, films that have literally just came out, Oppenheimer and Barbie. They've went and made stupid money, but the reason was not just because of the actors, but also the writers, especially for Barbie, because I mean that's an original story. Oppenheimer is obviously based off of a real event, but it still had to be probably written, the script. Someone had to write it.
And Barbie was far too good for what it should have been. Like the Barbie.
Yeah, I've
Barbie's-
not seen it yet, but from everything I've heard, it's like actually so ridiculous.
Watch
how
it
good
if you get a
is.
chance.
You have
it's,
to watch it.
It's
I'm-
unfair.
I'm-
Farrah,
I'm-
have you seen
I'm-
it? You seen it?
I've seen it. It's so good.
It is quite good.
Yeah.
It's,
I might
as
see.
I was not planning on going to see it, and some friends of mine were like, "Hey, we're going to see it, and you have to come with us." I was like, "Okay, whatever. I'm gonna have to see it at some point." So I went and saw it, and I did not regret it. It was good.
Cool.
Mhm.
I'm seeing Oppenheimer tomorrow actually, so I'm quite excited
Awesome.
for that.
Okay.
But yeah, I think
Excellent.
I'll try
Yes.
and see Barbie as well at some point. 'Cause I want to have the Barbenheimer special. You know, I need to-
Barbenheimer experience.
Barbenheimer. Exactly. But yeah, super hyped for it. But yeah, I think that's kind of my general thoughts on the whole strike.
Yeah.
Especially for writers, I think they should get some better compensation for what they do.
Yeah. We have more Apple news and more EU slash like UK related stuff.
The
Sean,
UK again?
The UK again. Sean, why don't you kind of? Or wait, was it Sean or Farrah who put this article in here?
It was me.
It was Sean.
me.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
Just checking. Okay, so Sean, why don't you kind of do an overview of this? So what's happening?
All right. So basically, the UK is trying to pass a new bill. I can't remember exactly the name of the bill, but essentially, what a part of the bill would allow the Home Office, which is basically they deal with immigration and like passports stuff like that. I don't know what the American equivalent to that would be, but Home
Wait,
Office
so
deals
you
with
said
passports, stuff like that.
Passports,
Immigration, stuff like that.
Homeland Security, probably right. I think with that.
Maybe?
Maybe.
I have no
Question?
idea.
Here,
Yeah.
well, let's see here. Which government industry? Which? Oh, okay. I can't see. Which government? Office controls passports. That would be. Oh no, that'd be the problem of state, Department of State. So
Ah,
it's vague,
Oh.
but yeah.
I forgot they existed for a minute.
But yeah, basically, Home Office, they deal with things like passports, so on, foreign affairs, kind of a little bit. They're not like dealing with international affairs. They're not the one, but they'll usually be the ones who do like make comments on foreign affairs and stuff. But anyway, it would basically, this new bill would allow them to basically have to force every company, even if they're not based in the UK, to have to bring by them any security changes they want to make to their products, or introduce a new product that has security features like end-to-end encryption, and they would have the power then to demand a backdoor into the encryption, which means it's not encrypted.
That's
it's not
ins-
yeah. So anyway, so basically
insane.
they can demand that, and what's even worse is it would also allow the Home Office to do this without the public's knowledge. So you wouldn't even be aware that they have a backdoor into these apps if they were to demand, like, companies like Apple, Meta, Google to break their encryption.
That's
That's
kind
insane.
of really
Insane.
scary.
It is, and it's
That's terrifying.
obviously, and one of the big companies that's went and been very vocal about opposing it is Apple, and they threatened and said if this bill passes, they will disable iMessage and FaceTime straight up. They will not let UK users use them if that passes. Which, to be honest,
Rare Apple W.
rare Apple W, 100%. I'm fully with them on this.
For real.
This is horrible.
That's solid. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and what's worse is like this could. So according to the article, one part of the bill would also requires non-UK based tech companies to comply with changes which can impact services worldwide. So that means because obviously if encryption's broken in the UK, meaning the Home Office can access it, that means any other government could probably theoretically get in as well, because there's now a backdoor. So it kind of affects everyone if this goes through and tech companies comply. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see if any of them do. Obviously, we know Apple isn't. They'll pull iMessage and FaceTime. And I do think they would, because they've done it in the past with other security things. I think it was a few years ago, the FBI wanted a backdoor into iMessage, and Apple just straight up said no. They just refused. Under no circumstances they were going to let them break encryption, which, to be honest, again, rare Apple W. But the reason I wanted to bring this up was mainly just because, it's an insane thing to break encryption like that, because
Sure.
it's not encryption then. It's not encrypted. Encryption only works if only two parties can see the messages, the two recipients. That's it. If anyone else can see it.
At least if it's end-to-end encryption. Like if it's
end to end,
it
obviously.
has to. Yeah, that's
You
a
know?
mess. That's crazy.
Yeah. And
That's,
obviously, cybersecurity would be completely messed up then, because do you really expect the government to be good at ensuring that no one else can access the back door? I would not.
honestly,
trust
I
the government.
trust. I would say I trust the UK's government more than the US's. 'Cause
I wouldn't trust
y'all's
the UK
government.
much.
Yeah.
I
y'all's
wouldn't.
at very least, y'all's government is relatively tech savvy compared to the United States. Like,
Uh,
I don't know if
I-
you've seen United States government like websites or
I wouldn't
panels
say-
or anything.
Yeah, I'm not talking about their websites, but you know our NHS, which is our public health service? Great health
Yeah.
service. I have nothing against them, but the government refuses to update their tech. So a lot of like computers in the NHS still run Windows XP, and they still use pagers as well. a
Bro,
lot.
we're still in use like Windows 98 over
Yeah,
here.
but I don't know if you
Yep.
remember,
It's
we
a
had a
mess.
huge ransomware attack on the NHS, and people's like appointments and
I remember
everything
hearing
got
about that.
decimated. Like people's like heart surgeries and that got postponed because they couldn't. Their databases were completely like locked
I
down by
do remember that.
ransomware. So I would not bring us as a benchmark. We're not much better. Like we're maybe
Fair enough,
like
yeah.
I mean the US's security bar is on the floor considering like
Yeah.
the Discord, like someone posted like secret messages on Discord.
Which
Like
we
that-
have talked about in
Yeah.
what episode was that? Was that episodes? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say maybe that was 16. I don't
think
know
it might have been
for
16.
sure, but I
But,
feel like it was 16.
There's that, but like the bar is literally on the floor, so we're like just barely like tripping over it, barely. I wouldn't say we're much better. I wouldn't trust my government with that much power being able.
I wouldn't
to
trust
look into your
anyone with
messages.
that much power.
Exactly.
No, definitely not.
And
yeah.
the other argument people have made, which is a good one, is maybe okay, you trust your government right now, but what if that government gets voted out next time and the new government isn't very good? What if they are very like totalitarian or you don't agree with how they do things? Then they also have the same powers. So how can you don't always know who's going to have that ability. So
Yeah.
I'm
It's a
very
mess.
much with Apple on this one. I think it's a rare Apple W, huge W, I'd say.
100%.
Yeah. Though selling a stand for $9.99 still stupid, but other than that, this is a W.
Sure.
But yeah.
We also have, as usual, our regular Twitter segment of
What
the heck is Elon Musk doing now?
Oh my god. This
I
might
hate
be.
this.
I feel like
that
I say
was
this.
possibly the longest sigh I've heard from Sean.
Right. So there's two things I want to preface. I know I've said this a lot every time I talk about Twitter. I always say this is the worst thing he's done so far, but I think this might actually like be the worst thing he's done so far. But
Yeah.
secondly,
Like-
is also, as I've said a few times, I'm quite a brand like nerd. I quite enjoy talking about branding,
yeah.
messing about with branding. Like God, the amount of times I mess with my own branding is ridiculous. And this is just so dumb. I'll let you explain it, Micah, though, because you heard about this earlier than I did.
Okay. Yeah, Twitter is rebranding from Twitter to X, the
It's
everything
disgusting.
app. It is bad.
It's
but
so
we've,
bad.
we've known, for the record, we've known about like the concept of Elon wants to rebrand Twitter to X for like a long time. Like when he was first acquiring the platform, he announced, he was like, I want to turn this into the everything app. I'm gonna call it X.
Yeah, and everyone laughed.
And everyone was like, okay, yeah, like whatever, you're not like actually gonna do that. And we're just now learning that like it's actually happening, and like probably within the next like 48 hours, Twitter's like bird logo, which is like the most iconic logo of like one of the most iconic logos of our time. I'd
Yeah,
say,
I've always
is
said
gonna be
the-
changed
Mhm,
to an X,
lovely.
like just
And
like the
and
letter X.
so there's an interim logo going to be launched, and we've all seen it, and it's bad. Like it's the most.
pretty bad.
It's so generic. It's painfully generic. I hate it. Just thought I'd say, but anyway, the main reason I think it's such a dumb change is kind of what you said, Micah. Like I kind of say the Twitter logo is on the same level as the Apple logo, where like you only need to see that blue bird and you know immediately what it is. There's no need for even text.
Even if
that
it's not
iconic.
blue, it's so even just without
Even
color,
the
like,
blue.
in many places it's just like a single color and it's like black or white, and like you still know exactly what it is because it's
Yeah,
such an iconic
and not just
shape.
that, the logo itself is actually really like it looks simple, but it's really complex geometrically. It's actually quite a unique thing to see, like such a simple logo that's actually very complex in a lot of ways. But the thing with the Twitter logo is like it's also been enshrined since like pretty much the start of Twitter in 2006 or whatever it was. It's like
Yeah.
it's iconic, and not just that, like with this change to X, you're also losing the other synonymous things with Twitter, which is people call posts tweets, people call reposts
Yeah.
retweets, quote retweets. All of that branding is now gone, and now what they're going to be called posts. We're making fun of threads, but like threads actually has names for those things. It has threads for like posts, and then like a thread is a post. You know, you've got rethreads, so on and so forth. Like, I don't know why you would throw away so much branding that has been built upon for so many years just to call it X. Like, it's so generic.
Move
Yeah.
to waste of money and get
yes.
recycles.
Yes, 100%.
Recycles, which is still not an official term, but recycles
it
is
needs
the
to be.
best. It needs to be. I need to talk to Jeff Lowe about that and make
Indeed.
recycles the official
Yeah.
term for a repost.
The
But,
other thing I
yeah,
wanted to
it's a
quickly
mess.
talk about, again, this is like my security thing. I do not like the concept of everything apps. I don't like the idea. Because, like, things with WeChat, for example, in China, I think it's Chinese WeChat. So it's a everything app. And it can do, like, again, it's kind of what it says it is. It has everything. It has, like, banking, messaging, everything. But why would you give so much of your personal information to one app, one company?
Yeah.
That sounds insane to me. I would never do that, especially like Twitter. The last place I'm giving any more information to is Twitter.
Yeah, I hate like giving like 2 different like passwords or something, or like
Yeah.
having 2 things that need separate stuff. I don't know, words, but having an app that needs like every single thing, like
Yeah.
bank information, user like phone number. Big
Yeah.
pass on that one. No, thank you.
Yeah, because Elon wants to add like banking to Twitter, and it's like, no, I refuse. No, I am not giving you my credit card information.
Who asked for that? Who asked
No
for
one
that,
wants
Elon
this.
Musk?
I go on Twitter to doom scroll and feel like rubbish. I don't go there to do my banking. I'll happily.
Or
do
you
that
go there
on-
to feel like a better person about yourself because you just see all
Yeah,
the scum
you-
on there,
yeah,
and you're like,
you
"Ah,
realize
at least I'm
that
not this
you're-
bad."
At least I don't. Yeah, I don't have these bad of a takes. You know, I thought my takes were hot, but my God, these are steaming hot. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like, no, I refuse. Like, I don't even trust like companies like Amazon on that with my personal information. Never mind Twitter. Like, especially now, considering how low staffed and basically falling apart Twitter is with all of the rate limit stuff and everything. It's a
Yeah.
complete mess. I would never trust an everything app, especially one from Twitter. Or sorry, X now.
Yeah, it did. I can't even. I don't know.
Yeah. It's
And okay, here's also I want to read just to close this out. I want to read this tweet from Linda Yaccarino, who's the technical.
you mean
I
a
believe,
post?
CEO.
It's not a tweet anymore. It's a post.
Well, at the moment, it's still. I'm going to call it a tweet until
yeah.
it's no longer a tweet.
Fair
But,
enough.
I believe she's technically the CEO of Twitter at the moment.
Yeah. Like basically
says-
a pretend one at this point, but
This is one of the most buzzword
oh
things
god. Oh,
I have
Oh,
ever
no.
read. Here we go.
Web free.
Here
Is it
we
going to
go.
web
Here we go.
free?
There's 2 threads. Okay, here we go. It's an exceptionally rare thing in life or business that you get a second chance to make another big impression. Twitter made one massive impression and changed the way we communicate. Now, X will go further, transforming the global town square. So that's like, okay, that's like a little
Gross.
buzzwordy. But
Buzzword,
no.
buzzword,
Here you go.
buzzword.
Here it is. X is the future state of unlimited interactivity, centered
it's
in
not.
audio, video, messaging, payment/banking, creating a global marketplace for ideas, goods, services, and opportunities.
It's
Powered by AI,
Oh,
X
no.
will connect us all in ways we're just beginning to imagine.
Oh, I hate that.
That is like,
hate
okay,
this.
number 1, buzzwords. Number 2, that is like dystopia right there. You gotta tell me
Yeah.
that's not like the deep state.
Literally 1984.
For real.
Oh my god.
yeah.
Man, what is
I don't know.
happening?
I was waiting on the only things missing from that was crypto and web free. That was the only 2 buzzwords we didn't get.
My only comfort in this entire situation is that they're gonna run out of money before they achieve half of that.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
I know we've made fun of Twitter, and like we do just kind of see it as a silly thing a lot of the time, but this is like actually dystopian. This is like hell. I just
Yeah,
don't
but
like
it's
it.
not. It's not gonna happen though because
Yeah.
they will run out of money before it happens.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
it-
Well, they
no one
already
but,
wants
like-
are.
this.
But what if, like that, like 1%? What if it
I'm
did
going off the
happen?
grid. I'm leaving. I'm turning.
Yeah.
I'm deleting all my
I'm just
accounts.
not
I've
gonna
got
use it.
sticks.
I'm just
Yeah.
not gonna use it. I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
mess. I don't know. Who knows? It's a
Well,
mess.
I better feel comfort because I still have the Twitter logo. You remember it? It's only there for a
Remember
little
it.
bit longer.
I don't even have the actual. For context, this is how little I use Twitter. I don't even have like the actual Twitter app installed. I just have like the Twitter like PWA, like the web app. That you, like,
Yeah.
you can, like add to your home screen.
To be
So
honest,
it still has to like load differently.
to be honest, if it gets any worse, I'll probably just delete it too because I just don't want to anymore. I used to only like for the last while I've only kept it just to see how bad it gets, just to see how funny it becomes, and now it's like we're in the end game now. This is the end game. I feel like if you actually change the app's name just to X, you're going to kill the brand. It's gone. It's dead and buried. Like, no one wants this. I think even the most staunch like Elon supporters can't like see the logic
Yeah.
in this one. I
You
just
know,
don't get
there's
it.
already a tech company called X.
I'm not surprised. I mean, it's
It's
literally
owned by
a
Goo-
letter.
it's Google's company though.
Oh yeah,
it's
Google
Google's-
X, isn't it?
Google X, the moonshot company, which is
Ooh,
like
maybe they start some drama. I really hope they start some
Oh,
drama.
are they
Being
gonna
like,
have a
you
cage
stole
fight
our
now?"
name.
But if you're not familiar with Google X has actually done some like interesting things. Like what are the main projects? Let me see here. Chorus, which was sensor technology of like where physical goods are. Tapestry, which is like a moonshot for the electric grid. They did a thing about like shipping Wi-Fi on like parachutes, essentially.
Oh yeah, I heard about
They've done Wing, which is like better drone delivery.
Yeah.
Waymo, which is like self-driving cars. Like they've done, Google X has done a ton of stuff, and now X, just X, is gonna redefine
Yeah.
the universe apparently. So I don't
Yeah.
know. It's a mess. I don't.
We're
even,
all. I'll
there's
see you.
nothing else to
I'm
say.
gonna see y'all guys on X. We're all gonna post our. What are we gonna call posts on X?
I have no idea. I honestly don't want to know.
I'm not joking when I say there's gonna get a point where every social media is gonna fall into the ground, and I'm literally just gonna retreat to waste of money. And
Yep.
only live on waste of money.
You know that meme? It's like reject humanity, return to monkey. It's like
Yes.
reject
Twitter. Reject
return
X,
to waste.
Return to waste of money. I'm gonna make that and post it and get like 100 upvotes or 100 likes on waste of money.
Let's go.
Good
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ready.
But anyway,
I'm
I
ready
think
for the
it's
mass
time.
migration.
I think it's time we move to the music segment. Get a
Indeed.
little less depressed.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Sean, why don't you get us started? What's your music segment this week?
All right. I'm doing a new group I've not talked about yet for a change. It's not Radiohead. I know. Poor people are shocked. But it's actually a Scottish group as well. They're called Young Fathers. It's a trio.
Ooh,
Um,
that's
they're
a fun name.
They're from Edinburgh. Oh, sorry, Edinburgh, if you want to be posh. But if you're just me, you call it Edinburgh. And it's their newest record called Heavy Heavy. It's just released this year. I don't know how to describe it. Straight up, don't know. I can't describe the sound. It's impossible to describe. I can only say it's got a mix of like pop, experimental pop. There's a bit of I don't know how you say it, but like, it has like tribal rhythms to it. Has a bit of tribal
Interesting.
vibe. Yeah, and a lot of the vocals are like kind of this. You know those chanty vocals. You know, you kind of get my vibe. A lot of that, and it's like, it's just it just sounds like pure joy. It sounds just like if joy was like a sound. That's what I think it would sound like. And it's like it's hard to confine the sound to the record because they'll have some tracks that are like what I say kind of more tribal, but then there's tracks like Tell Somebody, which sounds like you're ascending to heaven. It's like insane. It's a
Interesting.
wild record. I don't know. It's one of those things where like when I first heard it, it didn't click, but like I've listened to it a few times and it's like just kind of thing. But yeah, it's really anthemic. I've got like so many of the choruses stuck in my head now. It's ridiculous. But yeah, it's a really good record. I would say the best tracks that I recommend are Rice, I Saw, and Geronimo, and Tell Somebody.
Gotcha. All right. I've been listening to. This is like the third time I've talked about this on TNC, but a friend of mine recently got me into Hozier recently, as of like beginning of this summer, and I'm completely obsessed. And he's gradually been dropping singles, over the past. I guess it's just over the past summer, and he's building up to an album release in August. But he had a few singles that he released: Francesca, Unknown, All Things End, Eat Your Young, all of those phenomenal songs. And then just the other day he released DeSelby Part 2, which is, there is a Part 1, but he just hasn't released it yet, which is
He's like, oh, here's Part 2.
This is an interesting choice, but he released Part 2 first. But it's very, his sound, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Hozier, but it's very cool. He's Irish, so he's got a really cool like lilting accent to his voice. It's most of his stuff. A lot of his stuff is more like kind of like a folk rocky kind of feel. But then some of his stuff on his newer album has kind of leaned into like this like kind of like 90s style like groove, like lots of like cool bass and keys, like a lot of like organ. It's a really interesting new sound. But DeSelby Part 2 especially has like this really funky groovy bass line that kind of like drives the whole song, and it's just really. It's really good. It's really good, and it's kind of accompanied by his signature style of like deep poetic songwriting. It's very unique. Like this entire album, I'm extremely excited for this entire album because it's just gonna be I can already tell it's gonna be a phenomenal album.
Nice.
Man, I guess it's my turn.
It is.
It is.
Man, I don't really have that many like. I don't even have that many details. It's just okay. So I found this song today. I think it was actually like.
Awesome.
3 hours ago, so
hot off the press.
Very recent. The specific one, I don't even know if it's like Frieda, I don't know, by
like...
Morningsiders.
It looks like
I'd say Frieda.
Frieda? Okay. Frieda, by Morningsiders. I used to listen to them a lot, and then I forgot they existed. And then I found them again.
I like Morningsiders. I've listened to them somewhat.
Yeah,
they're pretty good. What song have I liked by them? Somewhere in Between is a good song by Morningsiders.
Yeah,
it's a good song.
So there's that one. It's just an entire album called like A Little Lift from 2019. Wow, that feels like
I know
years
That's
ago, like many years ago.
It is years ago.
Pre-COVID, crazy.
Indeed. Man.
But yeah, I don't really have that many details. I just think it's really good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really put them in like a specific like style or anything or like genre, because I've heard like different stuff like depending on the song.
Yeah, kind of like folky poppy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's generally kind of positive, upbeat kind of fun stuff.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun. I'll use that word. It's very fun stuff.
It is. It's quite fun. I like Morningsiders.
But yeah, there's mine.
Very fun.
Nice. See, you said stuff. You found words to say, so...
You did.
I know.
You did.
Proud of myself.
Hey.
Look at that. Hey, first episode of the New Creators with Farah. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the club.
Yay!
I like you say welcome at the end of the podcast. We're nearing the end.
It's an achievement. You've reached the end of the
welcome to the end.
episode. Welcome to the end of the episode.
I deserve like an award, a trophy or something.
Absolutely.
I've got to find one now. I didn't expect us to have to do that. Okay.
But yeah, I don't have anything else unless y'all do. Then we'll kind of close out the episode.
Follow TNC.
Yeah,
like Farah does. Be like Farah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be me.
And me too. I follow the podcast, even though I'm on like 95% of all episodes. I still follow the podcast. that just goes to show there's no excuse for not following
Indeed.
the podcast.
Yep. I
Yeah.
follow them everywhere. See, I got y'all on Instagram, both my accounts.
Amazing.
That is
And
true.
on both my Spotify accounts I follow as well.
On both your Spotify accounts.
Both.
Okay.
Yep.
Amazing.
All right.
Very nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Thanks for joining us on the New Creators Podcast. My name is Micah.
My name is Sean.
Oh crap, I'm Farah.
And we will see you in the next one.